Story Sirens, the podcast where we deep dive into myths and legends from around the world, with a whole lot of laughter in between. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Yenny. Are you an Apple subscriber? Make sure to email us at storysirens@gmail.com with proof of subscription so that you can grab all your extra goodies.
Not yet a subscriber, but still want some goodies? You can, of course, subscribe via Apple Podcasts or donate through our Ko-fi account by searching ko-fi.com/storysirens. Now, Yenny, it seems like for today's episode, we are heading back towards China. Am I correct?
Yes, you are. It's been quite a while since we've covered some Chinese mythology, and well, being that it is one of the oldest civilizations, it's definitely a gift that keeps on giving in this podcast.
Well, and I mean, there's a lot of mythology for us to go through. And I'm sure it would take us well over a year just to discuss Mesopotamia, ancient Egyptian, Hindu, Chinese, and Greek mythology. So that's why we just kind of keep going and coming back.
Yeah, and what you're telling me is that we've got over 5 years of content in the pipeline.
The listeners will never be able to get rid of us. But back to today's main topic, Chinese mythology.
Yup. So before I start, I would like to say that today we will be grabbing much of our information from Flame Tree Publishing's Chinese Myths and Legends, edited by J.K. Jackson. Because we love our bookies.
Very excited.
Also, I will say, you could go to Barnes & Noble right now and get this book. It was for $15, but then when I went to pay for it, it was $5. So
I love that. I love a good deal.
And I
love
also
a good
got
deal.
African mythology for also $5. So you already know, guys.
So so that means 6 years?
6 years. 6 years of stuff we got going on here. Now, in Chinese mythos, you've got the creation myth, the tales of the 5 emperors, which is in our pipeline, we promise.
We are getting to
The
it.
giants, the myth of the stars, myth of thunder and lightning, myth of fire, and, of course, the myth of water, and, well, the list just goes on. But specifically, in the myth of waters, I was very surprised to find out the story, or should I say the birth, of dragons.
Wait, what? I thought dragons were more fiery.
Yeah, so dragons specifically come about in the myth of waters in Chinese mythology, as they themselves are seen as spirits of the water. Mind blown.
Okay, this is new information,
blown.
and I'm excited to learn more. Okay.
Now, this is up for debate to a certain extent, because in reality, the origins of dragons is actually yet to have been discovered.
They just kind of show up in mythos, and we're
Yeah.
not quite sure when the original dragon myth occurs?
Yeah. So the oldest
Okay.
depiction of a dragon dates back to 3000 BCE, and it is that of a C-shaped dragon carved in jade, which is right.
Okay, that sounds cool.
I'm going to put it right over here.
Look at it!
Yeah, pretty, right?
Okay, that's very
Yeah.
pretty.
It was found in eastern Inner Mongolia and belonged to the Hongshan culture. What we do know is that dragons in Chinese culture are positive and benevolent creatures, of which are associated with rain and water. Since ancient times, dragons would bring rain during droughts, making them saviors to mankind and symbolizing peace and prosperity. In fact, they were believed to control the weather and seasons.
We can recall how ancient civilizations were built on agriculture. So if there was no rain or water and the people instead suffered through severe droughts, it would be seen as a terrible omen because famine and death would always be close by.
Dragons are considered a type of male energy, seen as self-controlled beings with supernatural powers. They are what we call the essence of yang. Now,
Okay.
in Chinese philosophy, yin and yang are opposite forces, light and dark, passive and active, and female and male. I'd also like to add that neither yin or yang is superior to the other. It's all about balance, and one cannot exist without the other. They have to be together. And while in this episode, the dragon is seen as the male form, fear not, ladies. We'll have an episode all about female energy when we cover phoenixes.
Jotting that down now.
Yep. Because of the dragon's just and benevolent ways, Emperors became associated with dragons, for they were seen as God's representatives on earth, thus meaning they always had to be like a dragon in every way. Powerful, yet always caring for the good of humanity.
Okay.
Let's talk a little bit about descriptions of dragons, right?
Tell me about these.
We can already tell that Chinese dragons differ from other cultures, specifically the fire-breathing part, though some do let out nasty fireballs. So,
Well, and also considering the fact that they're viewed as benevolent, whereas in Western culture, dragons are often viewed as malevolent.
yes. A scholar from the Han Dynasty by the name of Wang Fu described the dragon as having
a camel's head, a stag's horns, a hare's eyes, an ox's ears, a snake's neck, a clam's belly, a carp's scales, an eagle's claws, and a tiger's soles. When rain is to be expected, the dragons scream, and their voices are like the sound made by striking copper basins. Their breath becomes clouds, which in turn conceal them.
Remember how dragons are spirits of the water? When rain is
Still
to be
makes sense.
expected, thunder and lightning are close by.
That would be why their voices are like striking copper basins.
Yep.
This makes so much
Yep.
sense.
Now, Chinese scholar Wen Yiduo suggested that this description of the dragon could be based on the union of different tribes, each having a different animal as their totem. By placing all the animals together, it created the dragon, which can symbolize the union of China. In his own words,
The dragon was simply the name of a kind of snake. It used to be the totem of one tribe. When this snake tribe conquered other tribes, it assimilated their totems. Thus, the snake came to have a horse's head, a stag's horns, etc., and became what we know as the dragon today.
it's a pretty good theory, but there's not much proof as to where he came up with that idea.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a fun
It's
theory,
fun.
but it is a theory.
Yeah, definitely. Scholars have written that there was no say whether or not there was tribes that like mingled together to make China. I mean, it was very much a different type of story.
Okay.
Colors also play a part in describing these creatures. Blue and green dragons usually symbolize nature, health, and tranquility, but also healing, peace, and rest.
I love these colors. I love these attributes.
Yet, the most notable seem to be the white, red, yellow, and black dragons. So let's go through them,
Okay.
right? Let's do
Yes.
this. White dragons are sort of a double-edged sword. They
Uh-oh.
symbolize purity, but they can also be associated with death, which is very different
Oh,
from
that's
the
right.
Western
Yeah.
culture. Western, you wear black at funerals.
And in
Yeah.
Chinese, you
White.
wear
Mhm.
white.
Mhm.
Okay. Yellow dragons symbolize good fortune, power, wisdom, and wealth. It's also the most revered dragon, as this particular dragon could not only control time and the seasons, but also symbolized ancient China's emperors. And we'll get more into that soon enough.
Oh, yeah, we will. Red dragons, and the color red itself, symbolize prosperity and good fortune. Celebrations like weddings and birthdays have red dragons found throughout, for it means happiness and good luck. Additionally, you'll see red dragons in clothing, household items, and accessories, all to continue bringing the wearer good fortune.
Love it. Black dragons are mainly associated with revenge and vengeance. They are seen as bad omens with the promise of suffering nearby.
Yeah, not too good if you see one of those.
Not great, not great.
Okay, still sticking with descriptions of dragons. Not all dragons have wings. Yep. In fact, if you notice, a lot of Chinese depictions of dragons are instead like slithery serpents, right? Dragons seem to be wingless, able to fly because of the immense power they hold. In fact, like I said, many depictions of Chinese dragons have a serpentine look without wings. It is also said that dragons' bones, teeth, and saliva are the greatest medicine, and they have the power to
Okay.
transform as well as make themselves invisible if they choose. So if a dragon lets itself be seen by you, that means you are good. You are great. Yes.
oh, I don't know. This kind of reminds me a little bit of when angels in the Bible appear and they're like, fear
Yeah.
not, like, because the natural response is to cower.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'd have the same response if I saw an actual dragon.
like,
It's like, hey,
"Ah!"
I'm just telling you've got some good luck. I'm like, no, I'm dead. You're going to eat me.
As for where the dragons reside, well, that changes with the seasons, of course.
Naturally, they have a summer home, they have a winter home, they have, you
They
know.
actually do. In the springtime.
I love this. I love this.
In the springtime, dragons ascend to the sky and bring down rainfall. While in the winter, they bury themselves deep into the ocean again.
Oh, they hibernate.
They hibernate and they're deep in the
love
ocean. And you know what?
that.
It would make sense since we don't know all about our oceans. Maybe that's
We
because
don't. Our oceans are such a big mystery.
that's because there's dragons in there. Yeah.
There absolutely
Yeah.
are dragons.
Now, here's a list of some other well-known types of dragons in Chinese myth and folklore that you might see around in different media and storylines and all these folklore, all of that. So, starting off with celestial dragon. The celestial dragon lives in the sky and guards the mansion of the gods, supporting them so that they don't fall. Think about like the turtle holding Earth. Well, the dragon holds the gods. Yeah.
Well then, thank goodness for
Yeah.
him. Divine or spiritual dragon. Blue in color, the divine dragon causes the winds to blow and produces rain for mankind. Its main focus is to ensure humans always benefit from the rain and wind.
We love him. Isn't there a song about the rain and wind?
I'm sure there are a million songs about
I think
the
I'm
rain
thinking
and
about
wind.
Purple Rain.
I think you...
I don't know why I'm thinking about that song. Earth or underworld dragon marks the course of streams, rivers, and the ocean. Some stories of the earth dragon depict it as being female or the feminine version of the spiritual dragon.
I'm okay with
Yes.
that. I'm very okay with that. Wealth dragon or dragon of hidden treasures watches over all the wealth that is to be concealed from humans. This wealth can include precious metals, money, and personal wealth.
Yes.
So, like, does the wealth dragon later reveal parts of it to people, like, as they need it? Or is he just more of, like, the guardian
He's
of it?
supposed to guard, like, all the treasures known to man. So.
Is this why, like, Western dragons are depicted with, like, treasure hoards?
Could be. It could be. It could come
love
from the
that.
wealth
I love that.
dragon. Yeah. And
I-
finally,
I
the
love this.
Dragon King, the most famous and
Ooh.
powerful of all dragons, able to shapeshift and often depicted as a human man. He oversees the seas of China in all four directions.
That is a lot of
I
power.
will say, too, that a lot of people in ancient China viewed the emperor as a reincarnation of the Dragon King, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's very
yeah, we'll
cool.
talk about that right now. So,
Oh, let's do it.
let's talk a little bit more about that yellow dragon and its link to the emperors, okay? Dragons are seen as supreme creatures. And in ancient China, the emperor of the time was also seen as the supreme being. Many
Okay.
people believe the emperor was the son of heaven, as well as the reincarnation of the first dragon who brought rain to the people. Okay.
This correlation is making a lot more sense. now.
Yes. To continue having people believe in this, the emperor would wear silk robes with dragons depicted on it, would sit on a throne with carved dragons, would have dragons carved and adorned throughout his palace, and he even slept on a dragon carved bed. All to continue this, like, I am the supreme.
So we're going well beyond subliminal
Oh, for
messaging,
sure.
and we're just being like, hey, front of mind, dragon, emperor, emperor.
Yeah, you guys, let me tell you something. I hate when people are like, things are just getting worse in the world. They have always been bad.
They've always been weird. They've always been
yeah,
crazy.
Like, who needs this? Like, subliminal messaging times 10. And all of this was to emphasize his association with the benevolent creature, as well as his tie to auspiciousness and prosperity. Oh, yes,
Okay.
the emperor is also the dragon, so I must fear him. I must, respect him, right? Notably, and this is pretty cool, emperors' wives, as well as high-ranking officials and other nobles, were also allowed to wear clothing with dragons. But there was a difference.
Okay.
The emperor's dragons would have 5 or more claws, while those beneath
Okay.
him would only have 4. So there was lesser dragons.
He always has to one up his subjects.
Yeah, nobody can be better than him. Come on now. He be the son of heaven.
Only his dragon can have a
I-
thumb.
There you go.
That is very powerful.
That is a very powerful thing. It is. We also have in the mix dragon dancers, and this you guys should know about. You know, they do this a lot during celebrations. Now, in ancient times, communities would partake in dragon dances in the hopes of grabbing the dragon's attention and bringing rain and good harvest. They would also build wooden frames and place paper or cloth over it to make it look like a dragon, as well as make pottery and banners.
I love this.
Centuries later, it's still going on. In almost every celebration, especially during Chinese New Year, you will find dragon dancers, either wearing a dragon costume or using a rod-mounted puppet, both of which have the head blinking and its mouth opening, and
They look so cool. I love watching the videos
it
of
too.
them
They also
dancing.
accept red packets, which I find really cute. While it's cute and cool, the reason for the dance is not just for entertainment, but, just like in ancient times, to attract good fortune, ward off illnesses, and ask for a prosperous year from the dragon gods. So, there's that.
Oh, and is this, since we've covered the colors of the dragons, is this why so many of the dragon dancers are dressed in red or yellow
Yes.
or a combination of
Yes.
the two? Because, like, I've seen them, like, they're multicolored, but there's generally the predominant color scheme of red and yellow of prosperity
Yeah.
and wealth. So that makes so much sense now. Now I know this. How
now
cool.
we're all aware. Now we can all go to Chinese New Year in like New York. We've been dying to do Chinese New Year in New York or in China.
Oh, that would be fun.
We're supposed
That
to
would
go
be
for a
fun.
honeymoon, but maybe next year.
I know.
But yeah, it's amazing. It's so beautiful. And finally, we can't chat about the Chinese dragons and not bring up the Chinese zodiac.
Oh, that's right.
Yes. Are you a dragon? If you were born in 1964, 76, 88, 2000, or 2012, bingo, you're a dragon. Those born in the year of the dragon are said to be more prosperous and noble than all other zodiac signs. Many people try
see
to
that.
conceive during the year of the dragon. It's actually like a baby booming year in China.
That makes so much sense. That makes so much
Because
sense.
those born as dragons are confident, ambitious, and strong-willed. Plus, again, very prosperous. But be careful. Like everything with strengths, we've got our weaknesses too, and you cannot
Naturally.
tame a dragon. You can't keep it locked away. It will go on its own, and it can be very temperamental and also a bit too confident. So be careful.
Yeah, no, I definitely know this very well since both of my parents were dragons.
Wow!
Yeah, and bonus, not born the same year.
Wow!
So, yeah, whole lot of stubbornness.
Yeah, I
there.
can see that. Yeah.
So, but you know what? At the same time, I like to think to myself that they were the only people who could really handle each other. I feel like dragons do well together
There you
if they
go.
don't burn each other up.
There you go. There you go.
So, now, a note before we start wrapping up this episode, because Yinny has given us so much to digest and think about and ponder and kind of changing our perspective, or at least my perspective, of what I know about dragons. We will cover dragons of other cultures at a later date. This is not our only dragon episode, but can you blame us for wanting to split up all this mythology? There was a lot to cover here. This episode is already beefy. We have a lot to digest and think about. Thank you, Yinny. And these were just the Chinese dragons. But what dragons are you most excited to hear us talk about in our next episode? The Bakunawa of the Philippines, the Beathier of Scotland, the Quetzalcoatl of Mesoamerica, the Rainbow Serpent of Aboriginal Australia.
The list goes on and on. I'm telling you, we've got like a 5-year pipeline, guys. They're everywhere.
Exactly. Or are you excited to learn more about wyverns, worms, drakes, salamanders, leviathans, and other dragon-adjacent beings? We will cover them all in good time.
Yes.
Just because we focused on one subgenre of dragon does not mean we will be ignoring the others.
Absolutely not.
Don't get worked up in a bad way.
Yeah. But hey, Sarah, why don't we start off this pretty heavy lift of dragons in
Yes.
modern media?
Let's do it. The Never-Ending Story, Falkor, who I kind of feel like is a good mix of Western and Eastern dragon. I love Falkor. And he's got the long body. He doesn't have wings.
Yeah.
He's a luck dragon.
He's a luck dragon. Yeah, he was white though,
no,
which did symbolize
that's
purity.
true.
But yeah, there was
Purity.
a lot of death and destruction going on.
There was a lot of death there.
So, yeah.
So again,
Very well thought out.
they knew what they were
Yeah.
doing. They knew what they were doing with Falkor's design.
Yep. Now, were you really a 90s and 2000s kid if you didn't watch Dragon Tales? I mean, come on. Dragon Tales, Dragon Tales. It's almost time for Dragon Tales. Follow Emmy and Max as they travel to Dragonland. And yeah, it was definitely a colorful experience. I loved Dragon Tales.
I was going to say, I could never have guessed that you were into that series. I'm joking. The Aragon series by Christopher Paolini is one of my favorite book series. I remember being so impressed with them at the tender young age of 10 or whatever. The fact that Paolini wrote Aragon at 15 and got it published is pretty mind-boggling. Like, I mean, it's pretty impressive there.
Yeah. Disney's American Dragon, Jake Long. Listen.
Oh, that was a good one.
Let me tell you, Jake Long was definitely one of my cartoon crushes, and well,
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah, Alex looks kind of like. And it was definitely an awesome Disney Channel show, and yes,
it was so
Alex
fun.
and I look exactly like Jake and Rose, by the way.
Oh, yes, very much so. DreamWorks' How to Train Your Dragon is, of course, also going to be on this list. We cannot forget Toothless and all of his many friends. How can you say no to him, after all? Plus, Hiccup's character development and story is so well written. Watch either the animated, the live action, the TV series, all of it.
There's so many. Yeah, you're right.
There is so many.
All right. I have to talk about it. Fairy Tale, my favorite anime of all time. Follow Lucy, a celestial wizard, as well as Natsu, a dragon slayer, as they take on missions as members of the guild. Fairy Tale, literally top tier anime. I literally have the whole manga collection. I'm saying literally 20 times because I love this show so much. Oh,
I love this for you. Yes. Need more dragons? Check out Fourth Wing, the book series by Rebecca Yarros, with some Scottish Gaelic names and mythology thrown in there. It's a mix. We still don't get it. But hey, dragons with handsome men and women in the mix. Heart-wrenching, heartwarming, steamy moments found all over the series. I mean, it's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
A dragon wing?
Dragon. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit features the greedy and fearsome Smaug. Sarah, shall you do the honors?
My teeth are swords, my claws spears, my wings a hurricane, and my breath death. Bonus points if you look up Benedict Cumberbatch recording when he was Smaug for the Hobbit movies. They had him in mocap.
What?
And him just slithering around on the floor and acting like he's breathing fire is the most delightful thing ever. He was dedicated.
Wow.
It was outstanding. And, of course, we can't skip Dragon Ball on this list, or else my husband would never forgive me. When all of the Dragon Balls are collected in the series, the powerful Shinron is summoned and will grant one wish. Very, very Chinese dragon.
Yeah, because he also
Chinese
doesn't
dragon.
have
even
wings.
though it's a Japanese series. But I mean, the fact that he's like this all-power dragon who is like, I will grant you one wish, whatever you want.
Yes, and he also doesn't have wings, right?
Correct. Oh yeah, no, he is absolutely modeled after a classic Chinese dragon.
Name that Pokemon. Dragon type is a Pokemon type, Avi. From Dratini to Dragonair, Gumi, Sliggoo, Gudra, you know the drill. There's a dragon type Pokemon for everyone. Also, my favorite dragon type is Salamence.
Oh! Does anyone else remember the fever dream that is the 2002 movie Reign of Fire, starring Matthew McConaughey and Christian Bale?
No.
It's a different kind of post-apocalyptic nightmare where the primary threat is, you guessed it, dragons.
Wow, I haven't seen that one.
Right?
Yeah.
I had not thought of that movie in a very long time, and I had not seen that movie in a very long time, and I think I might be rewatching it this weekend.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Of course, the great hero Beowulf must, in his later years, face off against a terrible dragon. Oh, that would be a good story to cover, Sarah.
Oh, you're right. I'm writing it down. And while some people call this movie cheesy, and let's face it, it is, I still love Draco from the movie Dragonheart. I get misty-eyed every time I watch it.
I've never seen the movie.
Oh, it's so cheesy and good,
But
and I love it.
do you know what I have seen?
What have you seen?
Mulan, where my
Yes.
Asian persuasion first started.
Listen, Shang is a solid choice.
Dude, super hot. And of course, we cannot bring up Chinese dragons and not bring up Mushu. Don't think he's a
Mushu!
lizard. He is a dragon.
Dragon. Don't do that tongue thing.
All
We
right,
love Mushu.
guys.
He's the best.
Let's get into Siren Call. Check out the Aragon series, or go
Yes.
to the more steamy route and grab a copy of Fourth Wing, or go the family-friendly route and grab How to Train Your Dragon by Hiccup Horrendous Haddock III, written by Cressida Cowell. Yep, you heard that right. Before there was a movie, there was a book series. 12 books, to be exact.
Listen, your weekend just got booked, listeners.
Oh, yes, it did.
Okay.
We love you guys
So-
so much.
Thank you to our Apple Podcast subscribers and supporters. We want to send a special shout out to you as well. And thanks for joining us on the first of many Dragon episodes.
So many.
And hey, want to get involved in the Dragon conversation? Don't forget, there is a link to our public Discord server in the show notes. And we are so down to have more Dragon discussions with all of you.
Yes.
Until then, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Story Sirens. You can follow us on Instagram at Story Sirens Podcast. Want to support us? Send us a cup of Ko-fi by searching ko-fi.com/storysirens. We've got lots of treats for those who become siren seekers. All research materials can be found in the episode summary. Music by Donald Guzzi and artwork by Alexis Torres. Story Sirens is a Feather and Fin production. See you soon.